All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You were waiting to do that shit, bro.
Good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the D.O.G podcast. As always, I'm Drew with German and OC. And the first thing I want to talk about is why German is not wearing Niner gear today.
Oh, to be fair, I just got off of work.
Bullshit.
Okay?
Yeah,
Just
but
had-
you went home first.
just to pick up my lady to come over here, but no, I wasn't gonna wear the Niner gear either way. Like, dude,
Maybe
I mean-
you're the one who should have wore the brown bag.
I probably should have, but we didn't bet on it, so
Yeah, that's true.
Screw you guys.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed that. How we were talking about our fantasy bet. You guys could have made a bet.
I think it's because we were both kind of over it. We're like, oh, this is a battle of mid.
the 2 6 and 8 teams.
Hey, but one team is more mid than the other right now.
This is true.
Yeah, a lot more mid than the other, man. I mean, what can I say about the Niners that we haven't said already before?
Go ahead, look into the camera. Look in the camera. Do your rant.
I mean, I don't have a rant. I mean, I already got what I wanted to say out last time.
You can't even rant about Moody?
I mean, dude's gonna get cut. Let's be real. What do you guys think?
Is he going to be the highest drafted kicker ever to get cut?
He was drafted third round, right?
Yeah.
That was a year that the Niners didn't even have a first or a second round. That was their first.
That was
pick.
their first pick?
That was their first. But
Is that real? Is that fact?
no, yeah, that's a fact.
That's insane.
Look up that draft. I don't know what draft year it was, but yeah, he was. Hold on, do you guys hear staticky a little bit?
Yeah.
I heard it for like a second. Now it's gone.
Was it this?
I don't know. It might be yours. Oh no,
It's not doing it.
I don't
now.
know. Is it one of these?
No.
I don't know. Anyway,
Cut.
but yeah, he's gonna get cut,
And
dude.
action.
Like it was just he's been bad the entire year, right? And that even last year he was bad. I think what the announcer was saying that he was like perfect during the Super Bowl, and then he like misses it like wide left, and I was like, dude, that's great, that's awesome, that's exactly what we needed out of Jake Moody. I think what was it against Tampa Bay?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
he missed 3 of them
When Debo went off
when
on him.
Devo went off on him. Yeah,
I'm looking it up.
you're looking it up right now.
Yeah, I just want to confirm.
But I remember they
Because
didn't have a first or second. They picked them up in the third round, and that was I think it was that was the year before we went to the Super Bowl.
You had 2 third-round picks. Your first pick was
Oh, yeah.
Gr Brown.
Oh, the
Jair.
safety, Jair
Jair.
Brown.
Jair
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah, our safety, who's been asked, by the way.
87th
Wait,
overall.
Was this 2 years ago in the draft?
2023.
Not that last year, but the year before.
This was the compensation pick because you guys let McDaniel go to Miami.
Right.
So you guys got
yeah.
compensated.
That third round, yeah.
So it wasn't even your guys' pick. They
got rewarded.
It's your pick, but it was given to you. It wasn't what you guys earned.
Yeah.
And so at 99th overall was Jake Moody.
Well, one of the picks. It was either Brown's pick or the Moody pick might have been.
Yeah.
They picked him out
I
of
guess.
Michigan.
Out of Michigan.
And then, I mean, the whole reason they picked him was like, one, it was like the Niners were like already super stacked, right? That was the year that they made the run to the Super Bowl. But I mean, Jake Moody coming out of Michigan, the whole reason they picked him was because he's got a big leg, right? We're gonna need that. And then it's just
Awful.
Do you think maybe it's just the pressure is like setting in on him is just like
He's got
being
the yips.
picked such a high at such a high draft pick, right? Because you don't see kickers go that high, right? in
Well,
the draft,
In the top 100 is kind of crazy.
right?
When you draft kickers that high, like I don't think like the success rate is very high for them, even for like punters. Like I think Sebastian Janikowski is the only kicker that like lived up to the hype.
My dad was talking about Seabass
Yeah.
the other day.
Roberto Aguayo, I don't know if you guys remember him. He like never missed a kick at Florida State. He played on that Jameis Winston national championship
Oh
team.
yeah.
He got drafted, I think, second round by the Bucks, and he was out of the league within like a year and a half.
Oh man.
You know what's crazy is like you can win or lose games by your kicker, but in no way am I picking a kicker before round 5.
Yeah,
You can. I mean, look at fucking Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey, that was the guy I was going
Dude,
to bring up.
but
was
he's an undrafted guy.
Yeah,
he's
that's true.
undrafted the week of the season.
He was a soccer player, right?
Yeah, he retired professional soccer player. He was teaching like calculus as like a substitute.
Damn, man.
The kicker for the Lions, Bates, he was a USFL guy. and they picked him up because they saw how he was drilling
He was
field
kicking
goals
him.
in that league.
That's what happened with Brandon. Went to Notre
Oh,
Dame.
yeah.
Notre Dame played soccer, and then was MLS, but he didn't make it to MLS. Was it like the second division below the MLS, and that's where he retired. Then he went to the USFL, kicked there, and then stopped kicking. Became a substitute teacher in the Cowboys. So like, we've got no one. You want to come try
Dang.
out?
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, and the dude showed up.
OC, relax. Brandon Aubrey's also like 24 years old.
Played
Okay?
professional soccer.
He played pro soccer.
Yeah.
The guy's got a cannon for a
Hey,
leg.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys know, but I can go back to JUCO and play now. So.
Yeah, you're eligible. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, wait. I mean, you already have your degree. Can you go back to JUCO?
Technically, I never played.
I know, but you already have. Could you even
I can
enroll
go-
in classes?
I can go get another degree.
You
There's
can't. You can't. Yeah. Why can't you go to?
Yeah,
junior
they-
college?
they,
okay,
they
yeah,
get all
just-
these Australian dudes that are like 30 years old punting.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
They do that.
Fresno State has a guy, an Australian punter. I think he's like mid 20s.
Fresno State's looking for a quarterback, man. Just
They're
gotta
looking
just
for everything.
just get that-
They're looking
Get
for
that oil,
everything.
oil
was
up that shoulder. Just put some WD-40 in my elbow, and we'll be good to go.
All you got to do is hand the ball off. That's it.
All right. Getting back on track. Niners. Moody cut.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be a move. He's got to get cut. Sorensen, I don't know what you do with him in the offseason. I mean, you can make the argument too that he never had a healthy defense. Sorensen's their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You'll make the argument that he never had a fully healthy defense. Greenlaw came back and balled out on that Thursday night game, and then got hurt again. I think they were saying it was like his other calf was hurt.
Nice.
I mean, Campbell. We talked about Campbell the week before. He's not cut. He's suspended.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard that
So
he was
I
cut.
guess they
Now he's
were.
3-game suspension.
I guess that the way it worked in his contract that they don't have to pay him if he's suspended, but if they were to cut him, they would still have to pay him the remainder of his contract of whatever it was. So they looked at what the different things that they can do, but it looks like okay, cutting him is not going to work. We're going to suspend him, and so
Okay.
that way they don't pay him.
All right.
So that makes sense. I mean, other than that, man, I mean, I see online everybody talking about, Purdy, because that's the conversation, right? Do you pay Purdy?
Well, I think that's a fine silver lining in this. I think you try to force Purdy to sign his extension now. Because if Purdy, who was like, you know what, let me play my final year and bet on myself, and then all of a sudden Purdy's like good again,
Balling out.
then this is going to cost the Niners more money. I could see the Niners pressuring Purdy to sign his extension after this season.
I can see that. I mean, it would work in their benefit, like you just said.
Yeah.
And then I think also, too, it's like one less thing you have to worry about. Because the entire offseason, how long do they drag out the Ayuk contract? The Trent Williams
It
contract.
causes a lot of problems. Unwanted
Well,
problems.
we were talking about, like, even the Cowboys, when they had problems with Dak and CD this whole offseason, and
Dude, yeah.
it created distractions.
Yeah.
And, like, look at both teams.
Yeah, I mean, Dak signed game 1 that morning at like 6 a.m. He signed
Right.
his contract. CD was like that Monday.
Right.
I mean, CD didn't practice. Dak was practicing, but it's like after every practice, what's the contract looking
Right.
like? What's this? What's that? And it's a bothersome.
It, like, just sits over the
Yeah.
organization, right?
Yeah, and that's something that Micah said recently this week is one, he's already said that he'd take a pay cut, but he says he wants to get this done early spring. Like I don't want to drag this out. I don't want to go through summer with
Right.
contract stuff. Let's just get it over with, get it done, and let's worry about next season.
Right. Yeah, because I mean the contract stuff, it creates distractions, and if they're able to sign Purdy right away, I mean everybody's online saying like, of course they love Brock, they want to keep him, as the Niners quarterback, but I mean we're not going to pay him like they paid Josh Allen.
Yeah,
or,
for sure. You
know.
guys should keep him. Now's the time to pay him because it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot cheaper than he will in a year.
I agree.
More than
I agree.
likely, a lot cheaper.
Pay him, take care of him. I saw a thing where it's just like he bought his offensive lineman all trucks. It was like all Toyota Tacomas and stuff.
Yeah, he has a
Tacomas.
He has,
Yeah.
a,
Trent Williams gonna finish Tacoma. I've got a Tacoma, bro, and it's almost too small for me.
he has a deal with them. I think
He's got a deal
he's
with
sponsored.
Toyota.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's all I was like, there's no way he was able to afford that.
Yeah.
Like if he's living with a roommate. I mean, and then second of all, those motherfuckers didn't deserve it because dude, as soon as they
done fucked
showed him like
Hey, he got them all lease trucks.
yeah, dude. As soon as they showed that he bought them trucks, it was just like they broke down and like
Sack
fucked up
after
the
sack.
scheme in the beginning. Like our center Bedford is like picking up the wrong assignments like left and right, dude. Like it was just like we made Miami's defense look like just ballers.
You got me a Toyota. I wanted Ford.
Yeah. I'm not fucking blocking for you.
It's dog
But
shit.
it looked bad. Even on the last play for the Niners on that interception, well, I don't know if it was the last play, but it was right before you guys scored that long touchdown with Achan. You can even see like just they're confused with like picking up blocking schemes, and then our just center there's a guy to his right, he opens up left, and the dude just fucking just loops around and then just goes right up the middle to Brock, and he has to get rid of it and throws a pick. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I mean, Brock has led us to a Super Bowl. He led us to 2 NFC Championship games.
Played well in the Super Bowl,
He
too.
played well in the Super Bowl. Left the field with the lead, you know? I keep saying that. But, I mean, pay the man. Pay him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying like...
Pay him now when he's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, we'll see what happens after that.
All right. The negativity of the Niners, we're done with that. Let's jump over to the positivity of the Dolphins.
What's I guess
They're
they
still alive.
kept
Woo, you
their
won.
3.2% chance of making the playoffs alive.
It's better than 1%.
This is true.
So you're saying there's a chance.
or no percent at all.
Yeah, that's true. Like
I
us.
don't know. It was fun because there's a lot of Niner fans here, especially in this area. So yesterday I was dishing it out. A lot of them couldn't take it. And I told them, I'm like, come on, man. Like, you guys always talk when you win. Now, you got to take it when you lose,
Did you really have a lot of people that couldn't take it?
Yeah, there was a lot of people
No
that
way.
wouldn't, like...
Niner fans are babies, bro.
I mean, but that's another thing, okay? I've been a Niner fan since fucking quarterback Tim Rattay, dude. That's like the earliest memory I have is him being our quarterback. And we are used to losing. That's why I was like, the past few years we have been spoiled. 100%.
real fans are used to losing. People that have been fans when they got good, they're not
That's
used
another
to losing.
thing. I can speak for them.
No, he's not in. It's a different guy.
Oh.
So, yeah. Oh, it's Jordan Mims.
Hey.
No, not with the ball.
So, yeah, I was out there just, talking. Not very too many responses back because they, like... At least you're realistic, Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of fans out there, like Drew said, that I guess became fans, like as they started winning these last couple of years.
Is there a lot of younger guys or no?
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to handle it, and I'm just like, bro, like
Can't take the smoke.
I've been a Dolphin
dude.
fan all my life, like so, like I'm gonna talk regardless if they're 2-15 or they're 15-2, So it was just funny to see. It was good to watch them win, especially against San Francisco, and keep their playoff hopes alive. But again, Miami only beats teams under 500. Another example.
Can't be playoff teams. That's another thing. Like if they get into the big dance, I mean, are making it past the first round?
No, it's laid out. They need basically they need the Broncos to lose out, and they need Indy to lose one of the last two. And they obviously have to beat the Browns and the Jets.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, because the Bengals are going to play the Broncos this weekend. So.
I think that's very
and then
possible.
the Bengals too. They're fighting for their spot.
And
Too,
then
right?
we talked about this already. Who did the Broncos have? Chiefs last week?
Yeah, the last week. And Chiefs might be playing for the 1 seed still, depending on what happens.
what happens with the Bills.
Miami's
Yeah.
percentage has to be up towards like 12%.
So
now.
I
Oh
will
yeah,
be-
and the Chiefs are playing Pittsburgh this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Pittsburgh on Christmas Day.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. I like that.
It's
matchup.
not out of the realm, but like Drew said, so you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's
Alright.
a chance.
You want to keep going or?
Did you
No,
make any
just,
gentleman mate wagers with Nick? That's really all I want to know about.
Who?
You did you, any bets with
No,
Nick?
no one bet me.
Oh,
No one bet you?
did Nick win his fantasy?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
Nick,
He beat
dude.
Sergio.
He's gonna play
You're
this
gonna
guy.
play one of these guys in the
No,
final.
he's gonna play this guy
Probably
'cause my guy has 1 point, and I'm still
Hey,
down 19.
root for our boy Mims.
No. Put Keandre in the game.
Jordan
How many
Mims,
points?
boy.
How many points are you down?
19.
19. Oh
They got-
You might be fucked, dude.
He's not even. He's done. Mims is going
Where
to
I
play the
was
rest of the
done
game.
is Jalen Hurts coming out of the game yesterday. Oh my god! Oh.
And then he dropped it.
Live reactions. Oh yeah, Jalen getting pulled out yesterday. What'd you guys think about that?
Concussed.
Yeah,
Right?
they
He
said
was dazed. Nice. I watched it.
Was he throwing up two game
So
signs?
so
No,
Je-
he
no
wasn't
no no
that
no. So
dazed.
So Jess and I were watching it, right? We has his run down the sideline, right? Dives forward. A defender comes in, hits him while he's in the ground, which I like. Okay, how's that not a flag? Okay, whatever. But then he gets up like slow, like kind of dazed, and he's got this empty fucking look. like me trying to pass a DUI test. Like he's like this.
Wow.
And yeah, and then the ref just fucking just says, okay, no, like you got to go to the sideline. So they pulled him kind of like late because he was like running back to the huddle
They
already.
probably got the call
They
from
got a
upstairs.
call from upstairs, and then so he goes into the medical tent, right? Kenny Pickett comes in for a few plays. So Kenny Pickett, drives him down the field. They score on that drive. But Jalen Hurts, like he was like in the tent, comes out of the tent, puts his helmet on, runs down the sideline as if he's going to go in.
Because they called timeout, right?
They called the timeout, and then somebody came from behind him and pulled him back and said, no.
You need to go into the
Like,
locker room.
yeah.
Dude, hold on. They told him you failed, and he's like, "All right, I'm good."
And then
He was about
running
to
down
go
the
in.
sideline. It looked like,
That's
okay, he's cool.
crazy.
He's cool because he was even giving, before he got pulled out, he was even giving the ref like a thumbs up. He's like, I'm good. And the ref was like, no, you got to go. And so, yeah. And then they pulled him out. Kenny Pickett finished the rest of the game.
You know what I don't like? The inconsistency with this, though, because there's guys that take hits like Josh Allen and they never pull him out of the game.
Yeah.
But there's certain guys that automatically they're like, nah, you need to get out.
It was just the way he looked, because even when he got up, Jess and I were watching it, and Jess goes, "Oh, he's fucked up." I'm like, "Nah, he always does that. He's good. He's fine." And then they pulled him, and I was like, "Damn it."
Well,
Yeah.
you think a guy like Josh Allen, but does he react the same way that Tua does, that Jalen Hurts does, and all these other guys move up slow? I feel like Josh Allen gets hit just as hard, but he doesn't react the same as those guys.
Well, you should see his some of his flops when he's trying to get the ref in
No,
the passer
no,
lane.
it's like
Yeah.
fucking LeBron out there.
So it's like, it's the inconsistencies with the whole head trauma thing. Like, if everyone's gonna get checked out, then make it a mandatory rule. You take a hit anywhere near the shoulders or head, you have to come out.
But I mean, that's just.
Well, we talked
go ahead.
about this on Thursday. I text you about it. Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
He gets hit.
Oh, yeah,
he gets hit kind of late on the ground, and he acts it like he
Right.
got hit in the head, and then the flag comes flying, and then he gets up off the ground like I'm good to go.
See,
So,
it's-
like in that situation, you would like, hey,
Like,
no,
hey,
it
like,
doesn't
hey,
matter
get
if you
pulled
faked
out.
it. Now
Yeah, if you're getting the penalty called,
Go get
there's-
checked
now,
out.
go
now you got to
checked
get
out.
set of play.
Yeah. He sold it like he's like slow rolling on the ground, like his arms they're not like Tua hands, but he's kind of like, oh, like that shit hurt.
Yeah.
And then they threw the penalty. Yeah, that you got to come out.
Yeah.
If we're on this topic thing about flags, I just want to know like what you guys think. I know I'm like annoyed with it already, but it's like the whole pass interference thing. Like it's becoming annoying now because you can go first, second, third down, throw 3 straight incompletions, and say you go for it on 4th and 16. All you got to do is chuck it up to like the goal line.
Get a little bit of contact.
Yeah, and then you get the ball at the 2. And it's become annoying because like
Pretty bad, yeah.
now you see teams, right, that'll literally
Use it to
like
their advantage.
Yeah, they use it to their advantage and they just tell their player like it's a great tool to use on offense, right? It's a free first down, you get it inside the 2.
Right.
But it's like I'm to the point where it's like let's just do the college rule. Like you just get 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
It's when they added that rule of like the spot of the foul,
Yeah.
or if it happens in the end zone, you put it at the 1 yard line. I mean, that kind of sucks, right? Because then you get bailed out.
Yeah,
big time. Yeah,
And
like
say
you
it's
said.
a close game,
Yeah.
like your team just stopped them on 3 straight downs, and then they're gonna go for it, or they stopped them on 1st and 2nd down, and here comes a deep ball.
Yeah.
And your safety fucked up a coverage, and now they're having
Yeah,
to.
it is.
to
It
pay
is.
for it.
It is starting to get annoying that every time that there's an incomplete pass or a little bit of like contact, or it looks like the defender's there a little bit early, the receiver's like right away, like getting up and like looking around.
Yeah.
Right. Like it happens like almost every single play, almost every single game. Right. That
Yeah.
if it's an incomplete pass, they're throwing their hands up and then they're just like looking around for the flag, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. Then there's and then the other thing too is like the inconsistency of like them actually calling it, right?
I would like some replay assist a little bit on some pass interference. It takes 3, 4, 5 seconds.
But they tried it and they didn't.
But that wasn't replay assist. That was challenges,
it was
right?
like challenging, right?
Okay, a replay
Right.
assist. It happens. Before the next play. It's fast.
I think there needs to be a sky judge that does replay assists for pretty much every penalty. Those judgment penalties, right? Like, because I mean, there's some calls that are just like blatantly obvious. Like, I mean, the false starts, right? The rolling tackles.
They did it yesterday during the Eagles game. Kenny Pickett slid on a play. I don't know if you've seen it, and it looked like the Washington defender came over the top and
Oh yeah,
speared
I
his head.
did see that. I
And
did see that.
And they threw the flag, and then they
Uh-huh.
went back. They're like, after replay assist, there's no personal foul. So it's like they couldn't do it.
See, that's what I need to see that on pass interference, because some like you talked about, pass interference can make or break a game.
Literally can flip a game.
And right now, when you talk about the end of the season, I mean, there's consequences. I mean, there's playoffs involved.
Not
There's
just-
people's bonuses involved.
Not just them, but like all the sports betting that's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're the NFL itself is wanting to partner with like MGM and Caesars and
Yeah.
all these other things. Okay, well now there's a lot of money involved because you opened up this can of worms of like legalizing sports betting and like you're partnering with them. Now it's like becoming like, okay, now it's like the NBA, like, hey dude, like we got to go back and like check some of these calls because they're getting freaking ridiculous, right? Now you open up the possibility of more people saying, "Oh, the NFL is rigged and this and that, and they cost me my money with that pass interference call or not calling that a pass interference call."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think replay assist has been really good this year.
Yeah.
It on inbounds, out of bounds, fumbles,
Stuff like
forced
that, yeah.
fumbles.
It's
It-
pretty quick,
it's
too.
it's
Fast,
quick. I'm
yeah.
assuming it's one guy doing it. Maybe if you want to include an offsides or a pass interference, now you got a crew of 2 guys, 3 guys doing this work. I think it's been beneficial for the game so far. I'm not
Right.
opposed to them stretching it out and seeing how much they can get out of this replay assist.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be big. It would change the game definitely, and I feel like it makes the game flow a lot faster. Not having to stop every single time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the following play is under review.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so it's making the games go by a lot faster.
Anything on Dallas? You know what I'm talking
On the
about?
Cowboys.
Kevin McCarthy?
McCarthy's going to end up keeping his job. He's
Oh,
going to end up keeping his job.
No, dude.
Yeah, man. They're playing well enough now. They're clicking, and you get some better players back on the defensive side of the ball, and they're flying around. And it's like you guys are doing just good enough.
You guys
to,
got those.
to keep everyone's job.
You guys got the lovey-dovey goggles now, dude.
Yeah.
Now
I was telling my dad last night, like, Donovan Wilson played a great fucking game last night from the safety position. He comes up, he hits some dudes hella hard, causes a fumble, a sack, and I'm like, he like single-handedly lost the Niner game. He was so god awful in that Niner game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He was
And I
bad.
was like, and then he was terrible for like the first 7-8 games, and then now he's playing really good. And it's like, God damn it! Like you were gonna be cut this at the end of the season, and now all of a sudden you're playing well. It's like, do we really want to cut him?
It is weird that a head coach can go like what 12-5, 2 years in a row,
3 years in a
3 years in a row, and
Yeah.
then have a down year and then be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Like
how
it,
Dallas
that's,
is.
but that's Dallas, right?
That's how crazy it is. I think we've talked about it before. I think that there could be a change, and I'm not opposed to it. But at the same time, if they kept McCarthy, I'm also not opposed to it. I just feel like at some point, like you want some fresh blood in here.
But I mean, like what he did with Dak, right?
I said it a month ago. He put Dak in the MVP candidacy last year.
2 years in a row, really.
Yeah, I mean, he played really well under McCarthy's play
Right.
calling. This year's play calling, it looks terrible because it looks like a bunch of just out routes and slants. But maybe that was the game plan for the start of the season. They also tried to throw the ball a lot. They hardly ran the ball at
Right.
the beginning of the season. It's like Dak was our guy last year. Let Dak do all the work. Now he's running the shit out of the ball, and it's like, well, look at this. This offense is clicking.
That's another thing, even with the Niners, right? And then you could even make the argument with the Dolphins, dude. It's hard to move the ball when you can't run it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like all across the board, it's like your offense isn't going to work unless you run it. I mean, Sean McVay, his offense didn't start clicking again until they started running the ball again, right?
Yeah.
And then even now, like you look at the teams that are successful, like you look at Green Bay, what they're doing with Josh Jacobs, what the Ravens are doing with Derrick Henry, and the Eagles with Saquon. It's like those teams are successful because they can run the ball. And then it's just like, well, there's tendencies in the league, right? Well, just like everybody switched to playing a too high safety because of Mahomes, and like nobody wants to give up the big plays. So now you have to go underneath. And then now teams are starting to run the ball, right? Because it was like, well, if you want to play with two safeties, okay, well, then we're going to run the ball.
I mean, announcers say it, and they keep you honest. You run the ball to keep the defense honest, to keep them on their toes.
Right.
If you become one-dimensional, then it's a lot easier to play against you.
Right.
If you know that, hey, this team's got to throw the ball 45 times, your defensive scheme is a lot easier.
Yeah.
If you're like, we have no idea what they're going to do here, they can run the ball for 6 yards or they can throw it for 15, you're fucked.
It's hard to stop a running back.
Yeah.
Well, especially when if it's like a dude, and then like you have an offensive line who can open up holes that a lot of these teams are able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like running the ball just makes such a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you watch so many games, like how many teams like it's like first and second down, incomplete, and then now you're on a third and long.
I know.
And then you give up a sack.
And then it's so demoralizing. You're on defense. At first down, you give up 8 yards on the run. It's like, Jesus Christ.
You're
Now,
like, fuck.
now they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, because now you're worried about the run or who's
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Here comes play action.
I mean, even the Bengals are struggling running the ball, right?
Yeah.
After losing Joe Mixon, and look at their record.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's just like it's tendencies in the NFL. That's like a lot of fans. They look at the team's record or like we're not winning games for whatever reason, and okay, now it's time to panic and fire the head coach, right?
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, even McDaniel was on the hot seat, right, for a little bit.
yeah.
I mean, it also sucks when you lose your starting quarterback and your guys' both your guys' situations.
Yeah.
I think he's just like McCarthy in Dallas. He's gotten enough off, but Dolphin fans are ungrateful though, especially the South Florida ones.
That's crazy. the
The ones
actual
in
Miami.
South Florida.
No, they're such. They've never like a lot of them don't know how to handle like the winning situation, right? And a lot of them point to he doesn't win big games, right?
He won a big game. He's won a handful of big games.
Yeah, well, they're unhappy and they want to point the finger at McDaniel and Greer, the owner. Someone flew, I think, a sign over the stadium on Sunday afternoon blaming the GM. Like I'm like, come on.
I mean, last year on Christmas Day, the Cowboys came in with a 1 seed possibility. All you got to do is go to Miami and win. And Miami smacked the Cowboys around. That's a massive win. And that was just last season.
Right.
I don't know. I like McDaniel. I like his scheme, and I think if Tua doesn't get hurt, they're probably instead of being 7-8, they might be like 10-7 right now, or 10-6. You know.
Right.
So it is what it is. Granted, they have to win. They have to beat the Bills at some point. So that's been the biggest thing for them. But,
It's just like teams have down years, right?
Yeah.
Teams have down years, and in the NFL, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I mean, some of these games, the margins were like by a field goal, right? Or how many times teams lose in overtime and stuff. So, I mean, if I think it was like, what are we talking about? The Chiefs, where it was like all their 1-score games. If it were like the opposite, they'd be like what?
They'd be 2-11 or something like that.
Yeah,
2-12. But I mean, he gets the job done, man.
Who? Your boy Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Yeah.
And talking about Miami and Tua, I think Miami has not really gotten the opportunity to see a full healthy Tua, like an entire season where I'm gonna play every single game, and Tyreek's healthy and Achane's healthy.
It was last year. Last year he was. I think he played all 17.
But everyone was healthy. I mean,
they lost Jalen Phillips. Like he ruptured his Achilles against the Jets.
Did he play at all this year?
Who?
Phillips.
He did, and then he blew out his ACL game 4.
tough.
And then Bradley Chubb hasn't came back, but Chop Robinson has been good. But yeah, it's just now they came in with a new defensive coordinator, and Javon Holland is taking a dip at safety. It's regressed. Jalen Ramsey's been hit and miss sometimes, so
he's also aging.
Yeah, I mean that's what you get with the older. I think Miami has one of the oldest rosters in the league.
Yeah,
by average.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like Tony Romo made the comment yesterday during the games. This team's gonna be really good next year. I'm like, this team's kind of old, bro. Like, what are you watching? If Tua's healthy,
maybe offensively.
Shout out to Tony Romo, dude, because he's the only announcer to give Brock Purdy any love this year. I feel like he's like, he was like, we watch every single time we watch the Niner games. Like every announcer is just talking down on Brock.
There you go, right there. We're watching highlights.
The highlights, and then here goes Devon Achane. At that, when he scored that last touchdown, it was like almost like, okay, I'm kind of glad they scored. At least we get the ball back.
How does Mufanga not keep up with Achane?
And then the Cardinals losing to freaking Carolina, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Watching them go up in smokes, and they're out of the playoff run.
How about the Raiders blowing their number one?
Did they fuck up, guys? Did the Raiders fuck up?
If you ask the fan base, yes, because a lot of them were very upset that they won.
But is Jacksonville really going to pick a quarterback? Or they're probably going to
But the
trade out of it.
Giants,
But
the Giants have the number 1 pick.
You went from
Oh,
one.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
went
yeah.
from 1 to potentially 6 or 7 now.
Right.
They
would have to trade up.
I mean, when you're looking at, I think the Giants are the next big team that is like quarterback.
I just
necessity.
love watching the Raiders and their blunders, like just week
Well,
in
they
and
asked
week
him,
out.
They asked Antonio Pierce in the press
Uh-huh.
conference after the game what he thought about like what people were gonna say because then now they just blew their chance. He's like, I don't know. Ask Tom Telesco, the GM.
Oh, I saw that.
Do you bring him back, Antonio Pierce?
Well,
No,
hey, there's a thing that they talked about because they said they put up a picture of Michael Vick and they said Aiden O'Connell when the number 1 pick's on the line.
So you have
That's awesome.
you have 2-3 teams. So you got the Giants need a quarterback.
Aiden O'Connell was just trying to secure a job for next year because he's like, if we lose, I'm out of a job.
Do you bench him at that point? There, like, let's see what
No.
this. But I mean, you're Desmond Ritter, right? He's the backup there because of.
But they just brought him in
Minshew.
like 2 weeks ago.
Still, fuck it. Start.
AJ Cole, the punter.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
New England at 2, Jacksonville at 3, Tennessee at 4, Cleveland at 5.
Ooh.
So you're gonna have the Giants and the Cleveland that
Okay,
I'm gonna
so-
say that you need to draft a
All
quarterback.
right. Well, let's talk about it then, because I mean, let's talk about these head coaching jobs, right? And then like some of these jobs that are going to open up. But if you're the top of the list when it comes to drafting, I mean, it's so weird to me. Like, for example, Matt Eberflus last year, where it's just like you put this team in a situation. Isn't it weird that you would trust? Okay, now you are going to be the guy that's going to fix it, right? Even though you put us in this situation, we're in a high draft situation. Now I'm going to trust you to be the guy to pull us out of it. Wouldn't you like, okay, now let's just we have such a high draft pick. Let's hire a new head coach, somebody who I feel like can come in and actually fix it, and not the guy that freaking put us here.
Who do the Raiders go after?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, there's Ben Johnson. Like, well, I mean, everybody's going to go after Ben Johnson, right?
Yeah.
He can kind of just pretty much at this point just pick whatever
gonna
job
be the
he
hot
wants.
commodity.
Yeah. And he can even, if the Lions don't even end up winning the Super Bowl this year, does he decide to stay?
Maybe.
Well, if you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, he had Washington was going to hire him.
Right.
and
Yeah, I
then he
remember
backed
that.
out.
He backed out because he wanted to stay to make another run. I mean, does that offense look different without Ben Johnson? Who does Campbell bring in to replace him? Or is there somebody on the staff?
He
Probably.
elevates the pass game coordinator.
Probably. It'll look different. But I mean, there's so many weapons on that offensive on the side of the ball. I mean,
They're stacked.
they're stacked.
Mm-hmm.
They're stacked. I feel like there's a lot of coordinators that would look really good with that team.
And that's honestly that kind of what sucks about having like a defensive minded head coach who brings in another coordinator. He goes off, pops off, and then now he gets a head coaching job somewhere else, right?
Just described the Niners the last couple of years, right?
with the DCs.
D'Amico
Ryans and then
Saleh.
Saleh. Yeah, the defense. But I mean, the difference with the Niners and like I feel like some of these, like even like McDaniels, where it's just like when your head coach is the guy calling the offense, it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners with the defensive coordinator thing, it kind of sucks. I mean, but it is what it is. I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, we're talking about bringing in different head coaches.
Head coaches. So you just listed off like the top half or the top of the
first
list
6,
for the draft.
and I think there's 3 teams in the first 6 that need a draft quarterback, and it's Giants, Cleveland, Raiders.
Yeah, and then now who do you bring in like as head coaches, right?
No, I think you're right. When the season ends, you got to find the head coach that you're gonna pick, and then you're gonna draft whoever you want.
Right.
Because that's the direction you're giving this guy, the direction of the team.
Like Antonio Pierce, do you bring him back, or do you think he was just a hire to be ahead of the tank job?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Like what they talked.
You fucked it up.
Didn't they talk about Brian Flores being a scapegoat in Miami?
Yeah.
Where it's like he was there to be the tank guy, and then they were going to hire his replacement after that.
Yeah.
You think that's an actual thing in the
But
league?
He's doing just fine right now.
He's going to be at
In
the top
Minnesota?
of a lot of lists because last year he got a couple of interviews, so he'll be back because of the way the Minnesota Vikings are playing. So Brian Flores will be a candidate. Ben Johnson. you think about the top teams. Who else?
Mike Vrabel's still out there.
Vrabel's still out
Vrabel's
there.
a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot
Robert
of names.
Saleh. Robert Saleh, he's still out there
I think he would have to go back to a coordinator role just to prove himself again, because a lot of these guys, they're not gonna.
because of you don't think. Well, I mean,
You get-
the Jets arguably got worse right after he left.
Yeah,
They
like
picked the wrong person.
Once you get
Yeah.
fired at a head coaching
Kind of like
job,
the Bears. They picked the wrong person to fire.
Matty Reflus, yeah.
I've noticed that like once you get fired out of a head coaching job in the NFL, you kind of regress and go back
You
to
gotta
being
take
a
a step back,
coordinator
huh?
for a year
Yeah.
or two, prove yourself again. And
Dan Quinn did it when he
Yeah.
proved himself in Dallas,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
now
true.
he's at 10 wins with the Commanders. So
He's turned it around over
Good
there,
for him, man.
yeah.
Good for him. They made a lot of changes.
I mean, their lottery
Washington-
ticket played out with freaking with Jalen Daniels.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got a new head coach. They got new coordinators. They got a new quarterback.
owners.
They got new quarterback. They got new line. They got new defensive line. I mean, they brought in a lot of new pieces, and it paid off.
Bring back the Redskins. Just bring back the name. They want it. They want the name.
Yeah. Well, they want the name because they want the money.
Well, I mean, also, Native American people like signed petitions saying like that they liked it. It was just a bunch of weird white people who didn't like it, but whatever.
It woke.
Yeah, Trump's president now, dude. So that woke stuff is out the door. It's over for y'all.
Anyways,
So let's go. You guys want to preview this week's games? Cause
Sure.
we got games on
Oh,
Wednesday,
let's talk about
Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
we haven't talked about Michael Penix yet. Getting his first start this week. 75-year-old Michael Penix.
It helps when your defense has
when
two
your
touchdowns.
defense,
It has
when your
two
defense does
pick
all the
sixes.
work for you, yeah, it's pretty easy to win in the NFL.
But I mean, with Tampa Bay's blunder against
They're still
against
in
the
it, dude.
Cowboys.
They're still in it.
I mean, now you put.
I feel like at some point they're gonna try to go back to Kirk because something's like it wasn't the
You
most
think so?
impressive
Now you-
thing
now you-
yesterday.
Playoff.
now you think there's like
experience.
too much on the line.
Well, I just think like at some point they're just. I mean, it wasn't impressive yesterday. Like, yeah, he did his job, but like we both said, like the defense stood out.
18
That's true.
for 27, 202 yards, 73.4
not bad.
QBR rating.
It's not bad. I mean, a team like the Giants is not a bad team to get your first start against,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, Bijan ran for 94 yards. They gave it to him 22 times. They gave it to Algier 11 times. They ran the ball a lot.
Yeah. They, like we said, you have a good running game that's gonna.
But I
gonna
mean,
make it easy
yeah,
on your
I mean,
quarterback.
When your only mistake is to throw it at Kyle Pitts.
yeah, he's got one interception that's Pitts' fault.
That's Pitts' fault.
The Pitts just like, I don't want this. Hey, you want this?
Yeah. He
Like-
legit hot potato that.
like
that ball.
the water boy when he gets the ball and he gives
He
it to
goes,
him.
yeah,
take it just so he can hit
He
the guy.
loses the game, dipshit. Yeah. Damn. Are you still my friend? No.
Oh, Rattler 5 for 9 for 64 yards.
Come
And a
on,
half.
Jake Hayner, dude. Are they completely done with Jake then? I mean, they gave him. They
there's your
gave
check
him.
down.
They gave him the one opportunity.
That's kind of bullshit in my opinion.
What?
They just gave
Jake
him.
Hayner.
They gave him one start.
They gave
and
him
then pulled
they
the
gave him
plug.
2 quarters.
They
I didn't
did.
watch the game. I heard it was bad, but you've given Rattler like 12 quarters now, and he's
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You might as well give Hayner more than 2 quarters. Come on.
This is Rattler's second year, right?
No, he's a rookie this
No,
year.
he's a
He's a
rookie,
rookie this year.
but he started and played a whole game, right? And then he played 95% of a game, and they brought in Hayner, and Hayner scored on the one drive.
Yeah. I
And then
remember that.
Carr comes back, and then they gave Hayner 2 quarters, and they yanked him.
Carr's another guy, dude. Are they done with him in New Orleans?
No,
I
I
think-
think he has another year or two left on his contract.
Well, with Dennis Allen being
Dennis
out of
Allen's
there.
gone though.
This is
That was
true.
his boy.
So then, do they cut him?
You probably try to find a way to trade him.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough.
There's
yeah,
somebody
it's
that
gonna
was
be
willing to
that's
take
I mean
him.
that's the
It's
Kirk
tough.
that's the Kirk Cousins situation, right? Because now
He ends up back with the Raiders.
Why
Who,
not,
Carr?
dude?
They just blew their chance at a number 1 pick. So
I mean Josh McDaniel, the guy that he's gone. Yeah, he's out
Yeah.
of there. That's true.
I mean, what if you get Brian Johnson? Now you want Derek Carr, a guy that's going to throw the ball a bunch?
Brian Johnson's or
They're probably
Ben
not.
Johnson
Or Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
But, I mean, you never know.
Ben Johnson's not going to go over there.
If
I
they
mean,
pay him
what?
a lot
I
of
mean,
money, sure.
what
Oh,
job is going to be
yeah, I was
attractive
gonna say
enough?
what jobs are going to be available. I don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to get fired in Cleveland.
I think he should.
You think so? He was coach of the year last year.
I mean, it's tough. That Deshaun Watson trade
That
was
wasn't his
awful,
call.
but wasn't
that's
his
not
call.
his
I get
fault.
that. I get that. Yeah.
I think Stefanski, he had it's a down year for Cleveland, but he's done enough as a coach to have a bad year.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean,
Gerard Mayo stay.
you give him another chance.
You give him one more chance.
I mean,
You have
the
to.
roster was kind of depleted. I mean, you got a guy with Drake May, right? Like,
What-
you think there's something there, or
Dude,
not really?
I've watched like 2 seconds
Of Drake
Drake
May play?
Yeah.
There's a little something there. I think there's enough to justify Mayo coming back.
You know what? Who's Dable? Get rid of Dable. You're gonna get a new quarterback. Get a new head coach.
It makes sense, right?
Yes.
But
That's what we were
Dable,
just talking about.
Dable was also the guy who kind of helped turn Josh Allen into.
How many
Josh
years ago?
Allen.
How many years ago?
I agree. Yeah, that's true. He couldn't do it with
There's another guy that's gonna get a shot. The Bills OC because of what he's doing with Josh.
Josh this year.
But how much of that is Josh and how much that is his play?
Well,
calling?
Josh has had multiple OCs and
Yeah.
he's had multiple quality.
Was it
seasons.
Joe Brady? I think that's the OC there.
Yeah.
Joe Brady. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about what's his face in Carolina?
Canales, you have to give him another year.
Oh,
It's
yeah, you
it's
have
barely his
to.
first year.
Yeah, you have to.
These 1 year guys that barely got hired on, I think you give them an extra year. Who's in Tennessee?
Oh,
That's a good
question.
That's
But
a
yeah,
good
it's another first year guy. Him, I think
No,
you
second year, right?
no
Vrabel's
was
last
last
year?
year.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah, he got fired this offseason.
Mm.
So I mean that's another one. I mean, and then if you give him a
Jacksonville?
quarterback,
and the Jets.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, the Jets.
The Jets will be
That's a
looking?
job that's opened up. Yeah, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Doug Peterson.
Jacksonville.
Do you
I
give
mean,
him another shot?
but how much is it? Doug Peterson and
Doug Peterson has had his fair chances in Jacksonville, in my opinion.
what about Trevor Lawrence? Has he had his fair chance in?
Yeah,
Jacksonville?
I think he has.
I mean, that's another one, dude. Like,
How,
I mean, we
how
talk
much has
about
he really been hurt?
we talk about
Not that much.
we talk about quarterback or wins in the NFL being a quarterback stat. When do you start looking at freaking Trevor Lawrence? Like, dude, you guys have been awful.
Well, I mean, he's been in the league for like 5 years now.
He's gone to the playoff once,
Yeah.
and then
He had that comeback against
but
the
they had that
Chargers.
comeback against the Chargers. But then after that, I mean, what else has he done?
Yeah, you're right.
Chicago's gonna be looking right.
Chicago's going to be looking.
So there's at least six. jobs.
Chicago's
6 to 8 jobs.
does Ben Johnson take a Chicago job and
No,
go
so
against
he
the
can play
Lions?
the Lions multiple times. He knows how good that offense is in Detroit. You think he's going to want to play that
With
multiple
the- with
times?
the
again?
Or
weapons.
maybe these guys are competitors. What if he looks at it from the aspect of,
I want to
know-
beat my protege.
Yeah, I know how to beat that defense.
You're right.
It's not
You're
that
right.
it's not that hard to beat Detroit's defense.
Really, because they're missing like 6 starters.
Their defense has been
Their defense has been mediocre lately.
when
half
when
the
Aiden
guys
is
that-
there. Yeah, that's a different
with half
defense.
the guys that are supposed to be
Yeah,
there.
That's true.
So then it's jobs that are available: the Jets, the Bears, the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Depends.
I think the Raiders are dumb enough to keep
Pierce.
Yeah. Well, the Patriots are gonna keep him.
I think you made a good point. If you're bringing in a new franchise guy,
Bears, Jets,
you
Giants.
might want to bring in an offensive minded head coach.
right to like develop
And
that
if
kid.
unless you have someone like McVay or Shanahan or a very offensive minded guy,
right.
then okay, you can work it out with Shador,
Right.
and you guys will figure it out. But when you got a defensive minded head coach, it's like we're bringing in this franchise guy. You
Right.
need your quarterback and your head coach to be on the same page 24/7.
Like, look what's going on in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, the Saints will have an opening.
The
too.
Saints will have a job opening.
Well, look at Bo Nix and what's his face,
Sean Payton
in
Yeah,
Denver.
that's
I mean,
true.
they're talking about how they're like on the same wavelength,
That's true.
and it's working.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a big difference, especially like if you're a quarterback. I mean, a quarterback, you have to be an extension of your coaching staff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how they always talk about like these pairings throughout the years of like teams that have won like multiple Super Bowls. They talk about like the head coach and the quarterback like being on the same page or being on the same wavelength. Like I remember when I was playing quarterback in high school, it's just like when you're like calling plays and you go back to your head coach, like you're thinking already a play in your head,
Yeah.
And then the quarterback or the coach says it out loud, and you're like, oh, I was just thinking that. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how. Yeah.
You need to be on the same wavelength, and when you're gonna draft someone that is supposed to be the future of the franchise, the last thing you want is a guy that, hey, I really only care about defense. Like, I'll check in on you, but the OC's job is to take care of you.
Like Salah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then that's another thing. What do you do with Rodgers in the Jets? What do you do with Devontae Adams? What does he do?
Devontae Adams, he's looking like he's
I feel like that's
ready to play again.
I feel like that's a franchise dumb enough to
Keep those guys around. Let's run it back.
Because their owner Woody Johnson listens to his kid to make decisions.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Aaron Rodgers needs to retire.
What
He
trade
won't,
was
though.
it? It was
No, he won't. But
it was Jerry Jeudy, right?
Yeah, because his
Yeah.
Madden rating was
His Manny rating was too low.
is too low.
Damn, man.
See, he listened to his grandkids, and what's his face in Chicago should have been listening to his kid.
Do you guys think we'd be better owners than fucking Woody Johnson?
Well, I think we would all cut Aaron Rodgers, right?
At this point?
First off, I wouldn't own the Jets because I don't like them.
The goddamn Jets.
You didn't say it was the Jets.
But anyways,
I'm
yeah, there's
I'm out.
some of these guys like you wonder why there's dysfunction with some of these organizations, and it's because it starts at the top. So
I feel like we all be Dan Snyder's.
I mean, we, New York is a mecca for sports, right? And when you look at how many people were at the game yesterday, granted, it's cold, the weather's not great, but there was so many empty seats. It looked like a Fresno State football game.
It's pretty bad.
I'm like, that it should, as an owner, as a GM, you should look at that and be like, what the hell is going on with this franchise?
But I feel like
Even a team that's been as poverty as the Jets, you got to know that when there's people not in the seats, there's things wrong with your franchise.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I also too. I kind of look at New York the same way I see LA, right? Like, how many people in New York that live in New York are like from New York, or is it just like people that are just moving?
You're right, but I mean, even when the Giants were dog shit, I mean, they're still filling that stadium up.
Well, you watch a lot more Giants games because of the Cowboys, huh?
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe you might have a point. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I disagree. I don't think New York's a mecca. They're terrible at sports. So
just because you're terrible doesn't mean you're not a mecca. You got the Mets, you got the Yankees, you got the Knicks, you've got the Giants, you got the Jets.
None of them have won anything.
That doesn't
within
matter.
The last 20 years,
it doesn't matter. You're
They're
still
terrible.
a mecca.
East Coast sucks.
You have high profile players, high profile
At least
teams.
the Rams, the Dodgers, the Lakers have all won titles within the last 5 years.
that is true. That is true.
You got to win a title to be considered.
Who are the
East
most
Coast
expensive Who are the most expensive franchises in all sports?
It's like the Yankees and the Cowboys
And the Knicks are up there.
The
I mean,
Yankees that
are the
just
Knicks up
lost.
there?
Yeah.
yes. These are all. I mean, there's a lot of New York teams that are.
New
that are
York
up there.
is so biased. The thing I don't like about New York is how biased they are towards their sports. And it's like, bro, you guys haven't won anything. Like, there's not. Oh yeah, well we're in the running. Yeah, okay. Well, welcome to the Hall of Good.
just
This is the Hall of Great.
constantly being beat by Boston.
I think
Yeah.
OC really has issues with New York.
Yeah, I don't like East Coast sports.
He's actually been there. I don't like New York either. I've never liked
I just
anything
think-
out of New York.
I'm not big New York
Yeah.
fans, but I know that this guy, he is. I hate New York.
I hate New York.
Well, it's
I hate
just
New
they
York.
talk so much, like they think everything revolves around their sports teams, and it's like the Jets haven't won anything since like Joe Namath.
Super Bowl III.
Yeah, the Giants have been irrelevant like the last 10 years.
It was just, I mean, other than making those big runs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Square Garden, the home of the Knicks, and they haven't won a title since like the
It's
60s.
true. This guy's preaching right now, man.
The Nets moved to Brooklyn because they couldn't win anything in New Jersey.
yeah.
The Rangers, I don't know, they won something
I
like
think
95.
that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Brooklyn to Jersey to Brooklyn.
The Yankees choked against the Dodgers, and then the Mets haven't won anything since like the Miracle Mets of like '69 or something. So it's like, how are you
No,
going to claim
they
to
won
be?
in the eight. They won.
Shout out to all the people from the Big Apple who
Yeah.
are watching, dude.
Daryl Strawberry won the World Series in the
Fuck
Mets
you
in the
guys.
80s.
Was it the '80s?
That's when Buckner missed the ground ball.
Oh, well, I've never seen them win anything. Well, the Yankees won in like '09, I think, right?
Yeah,
The Giants won in like 2011.
10.
No, it was 2011.
It was 11?
It was 11.
Victor Cruz's catch?
Yeah, so they haven't won anything.
Was it with Victor Cruz? Did they win that Super Bowl?
It was
with
Mario
Victor Cruz?
Manningham
Mario
winning.
Manningham.
Yeah.
No, and then the Plexico Burris was the other one
That was
in 07.
Yeah.
Mhm. But
That
no,
was
yeah.
my round.
No, that was good. That was
John
good.
Boy
That was-
Media. OC's coming for you.
Dude, yeah, I agree. I agree with OC. I think he was like speaking the truth because there's nothing good
At
coming
least,
out of New York
like-
sports wise.
Like, I don't like Boston at all, but I respect that they went like the Celtics. They
The Celtics, the
Patriots,
Yeah, yeah.
even the Boston Bruins, the Red
Yeah,
Sox.
the Red
like,
Sox,
like they
yeah.
actually win stuff,
That's true.
not New York.
Miami sports, they haven't fucking won
Oh,
shit either.
I take that back.
2013.
They had WNBA championship. The New York Liberty won, I think.
Yeah, give them their
in
props.
front of all three fans.
Give them their
Yeah.
flowers, OC.
Yeah. No, I think OC's speaking the truth, man. There's nothing good coming out of New York. There's not a whole lot coming out of there. So for it to be called a Mecca,
Still a Mecca.
I mean, but it's just because it's the fucking biggest city in the world.
I
Of
didn't,
course,
I didn't say it was a winning city.
It's gonna have a bunch of franchises.
It's a fossil. Like, it's been there so long,
It's a relic.
and it used to be good, but there hasn't been anything since.
That's true. I give it to OC.
You can give. I mean, he's not wrong. I
No,
didn't
yeah,
say he was
yeah,
No,
wrong.
it's just
no, yeah,
I have a
yeah,
different
yeah.
opinion compared to Andrew. It's just that's what I think of New York sports.
And then I think we'd be a better owner than fucking Woody Johnson.
Yeah.
But OC is like, I'm not fucking buying the Jets.
If someone
He
gifted
said,
you the Jets, you'd
"Fuck
say no.
that."
They gifted
I'd
it
buy
to you.
them and then sell off my stake to like smaller owners and be like, "Here, you guys can run the team. I'll just sit back and
And collect the
Collect it,
royalties.
yeah.
I
let me know when the Dolphins are in town."
You're not gonna collect very much.
Go watch against the Dolphins.
All right, do we want to break down this week's games?
Yeah, let's go there.
There's
Let's go.
games in
Sure,
2
sure,
days.
sure, sure.
OC's New York rant. That was awesome, dude. Yeah. Do you guys want to go ahead and just pick the night games, or you
Well,
guys
let's
want to
start
talk
with Wednesdays.
Let's
There's
talk
two-
the Christmas games.
2 big
Yeah.
Wednesday games on Christmas
We'll
Day.
call all primetime games.
All right.
There's 3 Saturday games, by the way.
Starting off with the Chiefs and Steelers. The Saturday games, dude, were awesome. Like this past weekend,
Oh, yeah, they
watching
were.
the Saturday games, they were fun. No, but go ahead.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs. No explanation. Patrick Mahomes,
Steelers
great
at home.
defense.
I'm taking Steelers at home, dude. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Little
All right.
bounce back game.
Hey,
I
when you
think
go
so.
home, write all this down for us. All of our picks when you edit this video,
So I'll put in the comments.
so we can start to keep score.
Yeah. For
Oh.
you'll say you at
What's the
home
afternoon
watching.
game?
The
Texans
afternoon,
and who? Ravens?
Ravens
Is it at Houston or at Baltimore?
at Houston.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens.
They're rolling right now.
Yeah. Let's go
Okay,
Ravens.
just got fucked.
Congratulations, Houston.
Yeah.
All right, Thursday game, another beautiful Chicago Bears game on prime time. Chicago, who's lost 9 straight games,
Oh my god.
is hosting Geno Smith, who is on a roller coaster of a season.
I'm gonna go Chicago. That
Fuck
streak
that.
has to win eventually.
Nope.
They haven't won a game since losing that Hail Mary game, right? Against Washington.
No, they were on a losing streak before that.
No, I thought they had one before that.
Well, let me see.
I thought they had won a game before that. Or they were going into that
you're
game.
right. You're right.
4-2,
They were
right?
4-2, and they've lost every game since
9 straight.
Since that, 9 straight.
Unbelievable.
I'm picking Seattle.
Okay.
Fuck the Bears, dude. They're bad.
Seattle bounced back because they just lost at home to the Vikings. Plus, they need to stay in the playoff race.
I'll take the Bears. I was like, eventually it's got to.
It's in
It's gotta
Chicago.
break.
It's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Yeah. All right, Saturday game, morning game. We got Chargers at Patriots. Give me Chargers.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
Patriots, because Miami needs them to lose one. And they hung with the Bills for like 3 quarters yesterday.
Yeah, but
They did.
I'm gonna use your good old saying. It's a divisional game, so
This
it's
is
gonna be close.
Yeah.
This is not a divisional game. Okay, Broncos Bengals Saturday 1:30 at the Bengals. Gimme Joe Burrow.
Broncos. I mean Bengals.
Oh, too bad you already said it.
I'm gonna go Broncos.
Broncos. Okay. Then we got Saturday night. The Rams hosting the Cardinals.
The Rams, dude.
I'm not picking the team that just lost to Carolina.
Yeah, the Rams.
The Rams to close out the division
Yeah,
on Saturday night.
they have to.
Okay, then the next primetime game is Sunday. Here's a good one. Falcons at the Commanders.
Oh, that is. We're watching both of them on prime time
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Ooh,
And
man.
this game, I mean, there's a lot riding for both of these teams.
The Commanders are coming off a big win against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That Falcons defense is coming off of a massive game.
I got to watch.
Massive game.
I got to watch more of Penix. So I don't know, man.
This is going to be a game where Penix is not going to get bailed out by his defense. So it means that it's a game that the rookie...
Daniels isn't going to make the same mistakes that Drew Lock did.
No, you're right. And so that means that Penix is going to have to produce more. He's going to have to put the team on his back more. And Daniels has proven to me he can do that before Penix can do that. So I'm taking the Commanders.
I would say, yeah, but a young quarterback's best friend is a running back. And I'm taking the running game in this game, and I'm going to go in Atlanta.
I'll go Commanders.
He said no explanation. Commanders, move on. Alrighty. And then we got the Lions at the Niners Monday night.
Oh, yeah, that is the Monday night game.
Mm-hmm. Have you sold your tickets yet?
No, but I'm probably going to do it this week. I'll see.
Lions.
I'll let you guys go first.
Lions.
I'm going to go Niners, baby.
There you go.
All right.
Game at home. We lost last week when fucking nothing was on the line, so I thought we were just gonna win because I think it was like an hour before kickoff we got like mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, oh well, there's nothing on the line, just fucking play loose, play fast. They didn't do any of that. They didn't do that at all. They played the complete opposite.
The Cowboys, like the Niners, have been mathematically eliminated. So don't be surprised if you see Trey Lance.
See, and that's they played fast and loose when they knew that they were mathematically eliminated. So they were like, hey, fuck it, let's just start slinging it.
Yeah. I think now you give Trey Lance a week to prepare for the Eagles instead of like an hour ago, like, hey, we're eliminated, so go out there and play.
Do you think you guys are really going to get anything out of Trey Lance, though?
No, but I want Trey Lance to show off something so someone will be like, hey, can we trade for Trey Lance?
No one's going to trade for Trey Lance.
Dude, I'll take a fucking 5th round pick for him. 5th, 6th round, I don't care. Give me something. He's never going to play for
Trey
the Cowboys.
Lance is going to go to the USFL.
He's never going to play a meaningful down for the Cowboys.
I don't think he's going to play a meaningful down in the NFL.
Oh, I don't care about that. I care about what he's going to do for the Cowboys. And if he can give me a 6th round pick,
He's not going to do that.
I'm praying.
You guys are going to cut him. You guys are going to cut him.
See, cut is just a waste of everything.
That's
if you cut
exactly what's going to happen.
That's why I'm hoping he can play and then throw more touchdowns and interceptions, dude. That's all I need from you.
He's going to get cut.
Anyway,
is that a good way? Is that a good closeout or what?
Sure. Is it over between us, Hosey? Is it over?
I'm hoping for a 75-yard run.
75
Are you still down by?
touchdown,
Are you still down by 19 points?
Nah, it's like 16 now.
16 whole points.
And he's not even on the field.
No.
He's gonna go
Third
score
and long.
16 points in one quarter.
All right. So the next podcast, we will see OC in
In a bag.
Well, maybe me. I don't want to be that guy that jinxes it too soon.
No, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine in that situation.
I'd like to see Mims.
I just want Nick to win.
Ooh, jump though.
I know Nick didn't get to see it last week, but Nick, dude, I hope you win, dude. I hope you beat these guys.
This guy was
Either one
fucking
of them.
glazing you for like a good 5 minutes, dude.
It
was disgusting.
I also called him a loser.
Oh, that's not gonna help you, OC.
Spencer just threw a pick. Anyways, Nick, yeah, dude, you're a Niner fan. You're a Manchester United fan. You're just like me, dude. Both losers.
Man,
But
he's gonna lose.
he's got an outlet. He could win that. I won that league last year, and I didn't get invited back because I won.
That is not. That's bullshit.
That is what happened.
That is bullshit.
They were like, "This guy's too good at fantasy football. Get him out." I won that league by a lot too.
Let's talk about why we talked about it last week, but you didn't post the video. Why aren't you in the fantasy league?
Because I'm a winner.
No. Because you bailed on us.
I didn't fucking bail on you.
bailed on
Why
us.
do you take it so personal? I had plans.
throwing it out there. You bailed on us.
I celebrate privately on Labor Day.
We made provisions for you. We're an in-person draft. We let you draft remotely, and then you still bailed. That's on you.
I was inebriated
During
the draft.
That's on you, dude.
How's that on me?
I'm just saying.
It was a pre-planned
You
trip.
could have been. You could have been up
was
there.
planned a year in advance, and you freaking come to me a week.
How many years?
A week before. Hey, we're finally gonna do the fucking fantasy.
No, it's not finally.
We always do it on Labor Day.
For the last 9 years, we've been doing this draft
I've
on
only
Labor
done
Day.
it once.
Well, you should have known. You should
How
have
am I
known.
supposed to know?
I don't know.
I never got the memo. I never got a heads up.
It's.
I check my voicemails. Zero calls from Drew telling me that the draft was on Labor Day.
If someone backs out of this league next year, just make sure your Labor Day is open.
All right, I'm gonna make sure one of these guys is busy on Labor Day. I'm gonna plan a trip on Labor Day and invite all these guys, and then bail. And then bail. I'm gonna be like, never mind.
We're gonna do a
and
destination draft next year.
Only guy that shows up. A destination draft next year? That'd be dope.
Yeah, but you're not invited. You're not in the league.
I give up.
You're
Nick,
not in the league.
fucking win it out, bitch.
It ain't happening.
All right, let's
All right, I'm out. Later.